Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second North American Online Qualifier for the Halo World Championship. Benson joined by the wonderful Walshy for all of today's action, as it has kicked off. Of course, just saw Evil Geniuses progress through to the round of 16. News as well coming that Team Envious, who finished second in the first online qualifier, have already been eliminated from the bracket. Walsh, got to start with that. Obviously, we don't know too much about the team that beat them. The name was Plumbers Inc. But from your mentality, from top level competitor, if something like that does happen in an online qualifier, and these qualifiers are so important, of course, how do they get their mind back together for the next qualifier, if that makes sense? How do they recover from this? Because this is a pretty poor placement for them.
It depends on the situation. Mm-hmm. I was reading Twitch chat, and as we always know, Twitch chat is 100% accurate and truthful all the time. 100%
factual every single time.
Yes, every single time. There's 0% chance of trolling in Twitch chat. But I was reading something along the lines of possible lag out that happened, which in a case like that, you can't overreact and change too much about it if that's the rule set, and obviously they're in place for good reasons, because otherwise you might have people just forcefully lagging out at certain points during games, whatever it happens to be. Whole point being, if that's the only issue where APG is lagging out both games, then not much you can do in that situation. Get your internet fixed. Find a friend's play, house to play at when you are during during the online qualifiers. However, if they also lost a game 1 or a game 3, besides just one lag out game, then at that point you have to evaluate that game. You have to look at, all right, what went wrong in this one game? You can't just shake that off and just say, oh, we only lost one game, the other one was a lag out. That's nothing to worry about. No, they're Envy. They should be dominating every single one of these rounds if possible. They should not be losing in a top 16 round like this.
They should be as dominant as we basically just saw Evil Genius.
Yeah, exactly. Like EG's right there. I wouldn't be surprised if they're talking about a certain situation where they died and gave a few more kills. EG is tightening down on every single error they make, whereas Envy, I don't know their mindset, but like I said, their mindset has to be according to what the situation was.
Well, as we move on in the bracket, we're going to be jumping into another round of 32 matchup. We're going to be following Allegiance up next, and there is currently a little bit of a delay in the bracket on their side of the thing. On that quadrant of the bracket, but Allegiance, of course, going to be Nated, Suspector, L-Town, and Kratos. What can you tell me about this Allegiance squad, Walsh? It's a completely new roster for Halo 5 Guardians. So for me coming into it, it was like, well, this should be interesting. But from everything and all the murmurs in the office, people have been saying that this could be a very, very good Halo 5 Guardian squad.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it was Nated and I believe L-Town playing in some like the Beyond 2v2 events, doing well. Nated's always been an individual force to be reckoned with in nearly every single Halo. Yeah, every single Halo, he's always been, a dominant shot and like I said, a force to be reckoned with. However, we'll just have to see. Like I said, I've seen L-Town a bit. The others like Suspector and Kratos, I am not as familiar with as seeing as much of their tournament play. At the same time, I've seen a couple of guys at the LANs, and they're one of those wild card teams where, for example, if it was something like Allegiance just beat Envy, and I heard that happen, I wouldn't be that surprised, because they are, they're all well-known players. When you talk about something like Plumbing Inc. beating Envy, it's a bit more of a surprise to me.
It's like, who? Sorry, who? Are you sure that's the right name? But
I just got word who Allegiance is going to play.
You finally know?
Oh, I know. I predicted this.
You predicted it?
Team Allegiance versus Winterfox.
Winterfox. Okay, we take a look at the bracket. Of course, you can see there Team Allegiance have progressed through. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we see if Walshy is lying or if he is telling the truth. If we hit a quick refresh, Winterfox have, of course, beaten Elevate. Yeah, Walsh, you're on form today, my friend. You're on form. So, speaking of Winterfox then, Walsh, what do you make of this next matchup?
There's definitely some bad blood in the situation, I'm sure. Nated used to be part of this Winterfox squad, and it used to be 3 of the 4 members. Basically, Nated was, to my knowledge, replaced with, now it's Shooter, because it used to be Nated, Randa, Ryan Noob, and Arcanum. So, as much as you think that, Nated might have been replaced and they know how Nated plays, in a situation like this where one player used to know how 3 of the others used to play, I would say Nated is at an advantage compared to the Winterfox players, because he can break down, all right, these are their strategies. These are how they set up for a flag cap. This is how they're always scrappier. This is how we used to always like bait the oddball or stronghold or whatever it happens to be. So there's that's going to come into play. But overall, when I just look at these team names on paper and all these players on paper, I truly think Winterfox is the better squad on paper. And that doesn't mean anything, as we've seen Envy lost earlier. So whole point being is, if you made me make a choice here, I'd say Winterfox. But
okay.
I'll gladly be proven wrong.
All right. We just saw a little bit of a player profile there, of course, of Nady, but now let's take a look at Team Winterfox. Arcanum, Rhynoob, Randa, and Shooter. As you said, a little bit of bad blood, if you will. In terms of the X Factor for this squad, we have it down as Rhynoob. Who do you think really is the standout player for this Winterfox squad?
For the Winterfox squad?
See, I like Rhynoob simply because he kind of takes the Spartan abilities, and he's just so intelligent with the way he uses them. He isn't afraid of doing things a bit outside of the box of how other people are playing the game. That's everything that I've kind of picked up just from watching him play.
Yes, Rhynoob has always been one of those players that has been extremely objective efficient. He always finds those small little facets of the game that you can abuse, and he popularizes them in many cases. If someone was asking me today how I would compare maybe my objective play to a current player out there right now, like back when I used to compete, I would probably say Rhynoob is probably one of the closest ones. He'd be extremely aggressive. He's in those situations where he can get a kill or two and then turn that into a flag cap because he was in the right position at the right time. However, when I look at who's the X factor here, Arcanum, out of all these players, Arcanum and I would say Randa are the two that can go off the most as far as kill count goes. And you can be as efficient as you want with the objective, but at the same time, if you don't have any kills to help that bring you along, it doesn't mean anything.
It's a first-person
as much
shooter,
as I praise objective efficiency, it's most important in games where you're even in slays or just slightly outslayed. In most cases, when you're drastically outslayed, it doesn't matter what you do or how objective efficient you are.
It's funny. That's what I remember speaking to Mr. X. Of course, many people know Mr. X in MLG history. He's played so many different games, coached, of course, as well. He basically explained FPS games very simply. He said, any FPS where there's an objective, it's great, right? You can be as great at playing the objective as you want. You want to pull the flag and you want to have the best routes, that's awesome. But if you can't kill things, you're never going to win. Which, I mean, he's right? It's a first-person shooter. You've got to kill things if you're going to have a chance to win. But seems we're currently waiting for, I believe, Allegiance have gone a little bit AFK. We can take a look at a pretty awesome thing. Cartographer's Gift, of course, came out, it seems a while ago. Have you managed to get your hands on any of the gold weapons, Walsh?
Of the newest one, Cartographer's Gift, I have not yet.
Okay, good, because that would have been very, very salty. I would have been very, very salty. I need that gold. God damn it. Of course, the new arena map as well came out. Have you managed to play much of that over the holidays?
Are you talking about Overgrowth?
Yes, that is the one.
I played it a little bit.
Okay.
Not a whole lot. And so I'm trying to go into it with an open mind because a lot of times there's like a hive mind mentality when it comes behind certain maps. Like something could just be released and could be honestly a mediocre map. And if everyone hypes up, that's the best thing ever. It's
the best
thing ever. Sort of have like mindset like, oh yeah, I'll see small little features of the map and think it's amazing. Right. Or the reverse that could happen where some people trash on it and say it's the worst map ever and it needs to be rebalanced. So I don't know. It felt a lot of tight corridors for me. And I only played like a couple stronghold games on, a couple free-for-alls, but overall I need to play it a bit more before I make assessment of it.
Fair enough. Of course, Forge mode came out as well. I won't lie, before I went on vacation, I may have spent a lot of time in the office on Forge mode. It is absolutely phenomenal. I cannot wait to see what some of the top forgers in the community come out and do. Have you ever created a godlike map, Walsh? I feel like you're the type of guy that in his spare time would... You seem like a forger to me, Walsh.
I spent a lot of time in Forge, just more so like looking at spawns and trying to get a better understanding
really,
of
Walsh?
where everything's placed out, because you would sort of give a understanding of where certain spawns were on something like Halo 3's Guardian, where you see a recurring spot where you can maybe get a snipe kill off the spawn. But a lot of times I'd look more so for like clusters of spawns, or kind of, like I said, for me, when I try to look at spawn systems on maps, it always helped me to like try to divide it into like just different sections and think of those as separate spawn areas. Because some people look at something like I said, like midship, and they think of, oh, there's the base, there's pink side, there's carbine side, and that's, there's the second base. They look at it as like fourths, whereas I kind of look at different spawn clusters in different sections and think of it as like different 8s. Like, all right, red side pink is a full separate set of spawns than blue side pink and those sort of things. So I would more so look at spawns on there rather than developing my own maps.
I had a feeling that you were going to give a really nerdy answer like that, but that's expected when you win so much. I guess that kind of explains why, you know, looking at spawns and stuff like that. But as I said, Forge, awesome. I'm really excited to see what some of the top forgers are going to be able to do. In terms of the prediction of this next game, you said Winterfox, right?
I said Winterfox.
You said Winterfox. I would love.
What are you going with?
I would love to do that. You know, the normal thing where Cass is like, oh well, you said Winterfox, so I'm gonna say Allegiance, but I'm gonna say Winterfox as well. Winterfox, since I've been watching them, have really impressed me. I'd be very, very surprised if Winterfox didn't pick up this W. Looking at the bracket I had them progressing through to play potentially Optic Halo in the next round. We haven't really spoken much about Optic Halo. I remember the first time I was supposed to watch them was, what, maybe 3-4 weeks ago in the 4v4 $1,000 GB, and they didn't even turn up. So I haven't had a chance to watch Optic Halo at all in tournament play. What are your thoughts on them right now? Are they as strong? Because I watched, of course, some of the videos you've been doing. You talked about them briefly. You kind of seem to me to be a little bit on the fence about them. They could be really good, maybe not. What are you thinking right now?
I was playing with let's see, Flame Sword and Assault, and this was I'm trying to think. This is maybe 4 days ago, something along those lines.
So pretty recent.
And sounds like they're taking it very serious coming up into these online cups. I believe they all might be going to the Optic House.
They are all in the team house,
at the same time.
They are all sat next to each other right now.
Okay, yeah. So that's, and what's their fourth is Stellar. So I think Stellar is a great addition for their squad. They need somebody who is grinding hard and can help either motivate them or bring them up to speed a bit more, because what Optic was doing beforehand was not the right formula. I don't know, it seems like with every new game that comes out, you can't expect to be the best. Like, just because they're that good in previous titles, they still have to put in all those hours, grind, and have to earn their name, I feel like, in each title. So Optic obviously is such a powerhouse gaming, esport team worldwide, probably one of the biggest esport names you can have, and
big brands. Yeah,
they need to almost like disregard that and just say, guess what, we could even go into fake tags and earn our skills. Because like right now, I feel like they just kind of have, I wouldn't say an ego. I feel like they just need to grind harder and play more and put in the hours. That's all they really need. There's no question of the skill and talent they have, but they need to get out of the mindset of any excuses. They need to say, guess what, we lose an online match, that's our fault. We have a flag cap that didn't go right. Don't try to blame it on any other factor other than their team. So
makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Well, for now, we're going to have a quick commercial break whilst we jump into the next game, of course, which will be Winterfox versus Allegiance. I believe they actually may be just getting underway as well. So, very quick commercial break. Be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the North American Qualifier number 2, Benson, joined by the wonderful Walshy. And as we said, we can jump straight into some gameplay. I believe we have Winterfox versus Allegiance, like I said. Walsh, looks like it's going to be some breakout action.
Yeah, that's a very interesting game 1 start here for these squads, because I can, this is going to set the pace for this entire series. It's a scary feeling to play something like Breakout right off the bat, because I feel like a lot of these players, they would prefer to play a longer game type and feel each other out, like get an idea of how their one's playing, like how they're gonna, flank around, how they're going to move around together. And so it's interesting because we see right off the bat, Suspector and squad are up to a 4-1 and might go out with a perfect round right off the bat. So That's not spelling good for the Winterfox squad and both of our predictions.
Yeah. God damn it, Wallace. God damn it. You just had to bring it up. Unfortunately for Winterfox, they are going to go down. I believe it. Finally, Rhino did pick up one player there, but still a very, very dominant round number one. I'm going to be on board with Kratos Messi at the beginning of this second round. And what are your thoughts on grenades in Breakout?
I felt like that was kind of a wasted grenade right off by Kratos. Now, maybe he saw something I didn't and has had more luck with, you know, hiding that on the opposite side of the pillar to get that easy picker off the bat. But I think some of these other squads are trying to coordinate their grenades, try to throw two at the same time when they know exactly where opponents is at. So, at the same time, they are up 4-1 and almost gonna go in a perfect round. But you know, once again, 3-1, and we see Kratos shooting some bodies there, getting all hyped up.
That was some pretty much perfect play there. That's the second round in a row where, as you said, they managed to go 4-1 up in terms of players. Numerically, I want to now go on board with Winterfox, potentially just see what is going wrong for this squad. I'm looking at Arcanum right now as he heads over towards BR Tower, throws out that grenade. Spectre already managed to pick up one, and he does get his hands on that BR though. Let's see if he can try and put that to some use. It is a 3 versus 3, so finally, Winterfox off to a little bit of a better start this round, Walsh.
Yeah, and I can't really fully understand what is going wrong with Winterfox here, because I see them all seemingly to work up top, you know, top center together. It just seems like they're not knowing the angles as well as Allegiance here, because, like I said, it didn't seem like all of Winterfox were down low and flanking and not working together. Like I saw Arcanum up top helping his teammate right behind, you know, he was right behind Randa, and just seemed like they weren't able to get the kills or the picks, and right at the perfect moment, got flanked.
Pretty much summed it up perfectly. As now back up to Allegiance, Spectre, as he heads over towards that DR. He's able to just grab it and get away before any of the grenades manage to even get close to him. And it seems as if right now Winterfox have drastically just kind of slowed down that gameplay a little bit. I think it's needed as well. When you go down 3 rounds to 0, you do need to switch things up.
Oh my gosh. You were watching the Spectre right there, right? He had the first shot on Randa.
I was looking up to see Randa.
When he has BR. So that is a huge kill. But
brutal.
In the end, even though Randa pulled off a 6 play like that, they are still getting dominated. So that does not look good, like I said, for this Winterfox squad.
It's getting a little brutal, to be honest. 4 rounds to 0.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's no other better way of explaining it than perfect play from Allegiance. I think that really is the best way of explaining what is going on right now. They're working together just a little bit better. The angles, as you kind of mentioned, the way they're setting up, it just seems to be that little bit better than Winterfox. And Winterfox just not able to get anything going. And they really just need to, again, just kind of slow it down. Play for that first blood, play as a team, and they're going to actually be able to get that there. As Ryan shuts down Messi. That gives them the numerical advantage for the first time in this entire game. L-Town, though, is immediately going to shut that down. So 3 versus 3 once again, Walsh.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out also at the beginning of this Breakout game was originally we talked about how we thought Messi was maybe foolishly using his grenades and just throwing it prematurely. However, it seems like he's continually been doing that exact same start. And we see a Hydra kill by Naded, bringing this game even 2-2. But whole point being is it seems like that might be the Allegiance starting strat, is say, throw this grenade by this pillar. This is going to ensure that we can get this top center ramp by the flag uncontested.
So it may just be to make sure that they don't push.
Just a denial of area, just saying, guess what? They cannot now run straight towards top center, and they've been getting naded up there constantly where he's sitting on top of that flag, and, you know, Ryan Noob currently has a position, but it seems like that's what they were going for, at least getting that position.
Time is ticking. Naded unable to connect with that. He's going to pick up the BR, and does spot one. Will back down, though. Doesn't look like he wants to challenge Ryan Noob. 38 seconds, so time is
even though it's a 2v2, the main thing to note here is that Naded and Suspector both have BRs, whereas Ryan Noob is still stuck with just his pistol. The BR is so powerful in Breakout. Just that 2-shot burst, you do not have enough time to react if you're caught off guard.
It seems as if Allegiance are basically playing with that in mind. Just both pretty passively waiting to see if anyone from Winterfox is going to push them. And of course, Winterfox down 4 rounds to 0. I mean, I don't think I'd be pushing them if I was them. That's for sure. You can play for this draw. Of course, in Breakout, if you do draw, you just replay on the next round. And it's going to be round 5, a tie.
You know what? I'm honestly a little disappointed in both the squads there. Like, I feel like in that situation, I could be wrong. But
more so in Allegiance, because they do have that 4-0 lead. You want to see them maybe push it and try and end it. But
maybe not. I guess the way I was looking at it is, I believe it was the Winterfox squad. They had the top center half of the map. So they had Allegiance all the way backed up. That's a perfect situation to at least try to make that push, because worst case, if you do not get that kill, and we just see so much action going top center, those exchanges every single time going in the favor of Allegiance. And look at how Naded is using these top ledges here.
So
just hiding up here, and look at how he can back up his teammate, Babe, and he has to get back in battlefield 2-1, and he knows that timing perfectly. 3-1, he's gonna fish up Randa for the victory.
Allegiance for the win.
Yeah, before that fight happened, what I wanted to say was, since Winterfox had more ground than Allegiance, that's a situation where they could have poked out, like they could have waited till there's about 10 seconds left, had one member poke out, see if they can get a pick, and worst case, if they got picked off, they can run away and hide for the last, 5 or 6 seconds for that 1-on-2 situation. However, if they got the pick, they could press the advantage. It's all because they had more ground than the Allegiance squad, and that's a rarity. It seems like the Allegiance squad, for the most part, always had the top center control, always had more ground than the Winterfox squad.
It was a dominating performance, that's for sure. And we can actually got some breaking news for you, Walsh. See how you take this in. Talked about it before the game started.
Tell me the news.
Optic Halo eliminated in the round of 32 by, get this, team name is just a hyphen in the bracket. Just a hyphen.
Just a hyphen?
Just a hyphen.
Wait, all right.
We have Pullers Inc. going big.
Just a hyphen, or is it?
It's just the symbol, the hyphen. That's
symbol.
it.
All right, just the character hyphen. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so a little bit of an upset again coming in. That's Envy and Optic Halo already out of the second North American qualifier. I don't know what to make of that, Walsh. I really don't.
I don't either, because every single year I do talk about, like, you know what? There's gonna be new blood, new talent in the system.
New game, new pros, right?
I would not be saying, guess what? We're out with the Optics and Envies, in with the Plumbers Inc. and hyphens. Bring it on.
Something I didn't expect to hear today. But for now, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll be jumping into map number 2 of Allegiance and Winterfox. Be right back.
All hail the conquering hero. Let us remember him as our protector, and not the one who gave us this. As our savior, and not our betrayer. Let us see him forever as you, and not as you. All hail the conquering hero. The one who was supposed to save us all. But now I must save.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The second North American Online Qualifier for the Halo World Championship underway. And we're watching Winterfox versus Team Allegiance. We just gave you a little bit of news. Optic Halo have been eliminated from today's session. We can go straight into the action right now. It's going to be Coliseum Slayer. And who do you want to watch straight off the break? I'm watching Suspector because he kind of slowly went over toward that sniper side, and did he just fall off the map? He just fell off the map.
Great person to start off with. So now that we're done with Suspector, I would like to jump on with Shooter, who actually stayed on top of the map.
Okay, good.
And, we are up to a commanding lead of, I was going to say 1 to -1, but that has now changed. But we are both teams in the positive, and going to see what Shooter can do over in, that's about the best you can hope for over in Red Cave, getting that sticky grenade from the cave. So
yep.
I'm usually not a big fan of going for, like random plasma grenades. Like, that's one thing when amateurs sometimes have me review their gameplay. Like when I've done that on stream from time to time, right? They're like, oh, what could I have done different in this situation? Like, you know what? Don't go for this random sticky grenade in this situation. Put a shot or two so your teammates can take advantage of it.
I feel like that's the key, right?
Yeah, it's so key, just doing that little amounts of extra damage instead of going for that low percentage play. But right there, it worked out perfectly for Shooter. He was over by himself and pulled that off. But you'll more often than not see a pro player go for shots on an opponent rather than for a stick.
As we just take a look, score 8-5 in favor of Allegiance. Nothing too crazy going on. Arcanum, he does have a DMR in his hands, but it looks as if he may actually be flooded native, just pushing down the ramp. He does have to support his teammate. In fact, beautiful shots from Arcanum as he was able to pick that up. They're just trying to reduce that deficit. However, that blue base is being flooded now by the Allegiance players. And honestly, just waiting to see Naded off spawn. Looks like he may make a play now over towards Rockets. They're going to be up in about 15 seconds. Beautiful shots coming in from Naded. And Rockets right now for Allegiance could be huge.
Now, the weird thing about this game type, or this map, I would say, is generally in almost every single past Halo, it was one of those things where it's like, during a chaotic situation, I will always take Rockets over Sniper. Whereas obviously, it's, you know, the reverse of that is true, where like when things are slowed down, you like to have Snipe because it's easy to get picks across the map.
Yep.
However, this map feels like you almost want everything slowed down with both weapons. Like when I have Rockets, I'd rather the game be slow and I can actually snoop around towards bottom center or crouch around towards one of the edges. Like it just seems like there's so much chaos on this map. And when it does slow down, you know, it kind of gets divided right down the middle, and the team that has more power weapons ends up being the ones that are benefiting from that.
Why do you think that chaos exists, if that makes sense?
Well, what'll happen is when one team doesn't have full established control of a certain part of the map or a power weapon, teams want to press that advantage. They want to say, guess what? They do not have full set of this, and if I make this push at this moment, I can still disrupt this. And it kind of ends up being like this cycle of kills. Like a member of Allegiance will get killed, and a member of Winterfox, and then still once again, no one has that full established control. But thematically throughout this entire match, it seems like Allegiance has actually been the ones in better position. Great grenades by Shooter. I actually do those grenades myself when I'm doing the starting strat. But what he did is he picked off some of that sneaky ledge and helped his teammates not only get sniper control here, but they killed 3 members of Allegiance while doing it. I was trying to give so much credit to Allegiance by saying, overall, they've been in better, more advantageous positions throughout this map and the Breakout map.
Naded with a bit of a big kill there on Shooter. You were just giving some praise to Shooter. He was able to pick up the kill, get control of Sniper before finally falling. As see, game has kind of slowed down a little bit. You're completely right. Just kind of looking at the overview of the game. Rockets is going to be up in 10. Sniper should still be somewhere. Naded has actually just fallen. Who is over towards that Rocket side of the map?
I've not seen anyone really set up and get away with the Sniper yet. We now see it in the hands of Suspector if you want to go to him.
Yep, I'm on board.
This is actually a prime set for Allegiance right now because Rockets are just coming up and Suspector can pretty much deny these Rockets if he hits the shots. And unfortunately, does not hit the shots on Randa. So Randa is, if he's wise, he's not going to be poking out at all. However, I disagree with this play by Suspector. He needs to still keep that Rocket person in check, and he does not do that and punish for it. So we'll see if Naded can get these kills, because right there, Suspector and the Legion squad had the advantage, even though they did not have Rockets. Like I said, Rockets are generally better in a chaotic situation. However, when it comes down to a standoff, Sniper is the best possible weapon you can almost ask for. There's really very few specific situations you can talk about where Rockets are better in the standoff compared to Snipe.
And speaking of that Snipe, it's Randa who controls both of those power weapons. He's going to give up the Rockets, like that play, allow your teammate to control that, and that really is going to put a little bit of pressure now on Allegiance. And you can see exactly as you were saying, Walsh, Winterfox saying, all right, let's slow this game down as much as we possibly can, try and force a couple of mistakes out from Allegiance, but they did actually manage to pick up a melee kill, and they're actually going to start to push over towards Randa. Randa in a lot of trouble, goes to the no-scope, misses the first time, was able to pop the shield, and a big assist comes in from Ryan. That's going to keep Randa alive with that sniper. That is so important if Winterfox is going to have any chance of coming back into this game. Currently trailing 5 kills.
And yeah, and they played that so well. Like you said, they closed the deficit by 2 or 3 kills, and part of it's just controlling those power weapons. And Randa doing a great job finding those picks. I was gonna disagree earlier when he threw that grenade up towards Snipe side, but whole point being is he is doing everything he needs to right now. He needs to get back a bit further, to be honest, though. He's the furthest one up on his squad. He now has Arcanum's back up there, but he has those sniper bullets. He needs to make those count, because every kill he gets now is potentially a member of Allegiance that cannot help get this new sniper rifle.
Very true. Of course, Rocket's going to be coming up as well. Now you see Randa just taking his time, picks off L-Town. And that was very well structured. You can see just in the blink of an eye, 4 players go down, and they trail by 1. And Randa picking up the new sniper rifle as well. Question, who got Rockets? I didn't actually see that on my screen. I would assume it would be someone from Allegiance, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't see whose hands they're in, but regardless, what Winterfox squad needs to do is just make sure that Randa is secure right now. If they know all 4 members are over at blue base, that's okay. But I highly doubt that they've noticed all 4 members. They need to check their back. And as you can see right now, it seems like Random must be very confident that red base is fully clear because he has not once checked over at his elbow yet. So, God, this is, like I said, they need to slow it down, let Randy get the kills. As of now, we've seen this whole entire spree going on, and there he is. He's finally flanked over at the red elbow. The entire time, Randy did not get a kill. He had 5 other teammate deaths, and they were only 1 kill away. So they went from a 1 kill deficit to 7 kill deficit and losing the sniper rifle. That could not have went more poorly
so well
for Randa.
Native played it beautifully. He was the one that played for Rockets, managed to pick up a couple of kills, and then as you said, that perfect flank came in. They were able to shut down the sniper. L-Town did pick it up before, instantly falling, but that massive hard work we saw from Winterfox to bring themselves back into this game, eradicated in one very well-played move from Team Allegiance. They now have a 45-35 lead. It's almost 10 kills once again, and it's amazing how quickly that it all changed.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like that last play decided the game. Like I said, it was a 1 kill game. Winterfox had the sniper. All they had to do was back up a bit and guard Randa. Let Randa get the picks across the map. Instead, they had 5 unanswered deaths and lost the rocket, or lost the sniper. And right there, this is all but over. This is going to be a 2-0 victory for Allegiance. And you know Nate has got to be feeling good about that one.
Well, we were both wrong. We had Winterfox's potentially going through, but Allegiance come out very, very hot indeed, proving us both wrong. Looking at that scoreboard, a couple of things stand out. You know, Kratos Messi, 12 kills, 13 assists, putting up a lot of work, only 7 deaths as well, least deaths on the team there. So really doing a good job. But as you said, really the key part of that game was when we saw sniper control basically nullified, is the best way of explaining it. Naden doing a fantastic job with Rockets, and what was a 1 kill game turned to a 10 kill game in the space of around about 60 seconds. So that really
and it
just
wasn't
shows you
even just like the sniper control is nullified. Like I rarely like to just pinpoint one moment where it's like they did this different and the game would have you know, went in their favor, because there's 50 kills in a Team Slayer game. It's hard to pinpoint just one death and say this is the moment that lost them the game, because there's 49 other deaths that led to that moment.
Good
point being though, at that 33 to 34 mark, Winterfox only down by a kill. I keep harping on this moment because this is the moment lost in the game. They just had to sit back a little bit and let Randa do the work. They just gave up too many kills, gave up map control, because as you notice, Randa was almost certain that all members over on blue side of the map. He got flanked over from red elbow eventually. He wasn't comfortable sniping at all, and for good reason. He had his teammates pushed up and dying,
He missed
panicking and doing call-outs.
Good point there, Walshy. As Allegiance now, of course, progress through to the quarterfinals, where they will be going up against Let's Get This Money. And that is actually going to be the next game that we take a look at, I believe. Is that right? No, that should be a quarterfinal game, I believe, unless I'm completely crazy. Could be around.
You're correct.
I am correct, right?
I can't.
I think I'm correct.
I just have confidence in you. I didn't look this up at all. I was like, you got to be correct, right?
I must be right? Maybe not. I could be completely wrong. But I'll find out for you guys. Don't worry. I was told as well that we'll be taking a look at Evil Geniuses versus Team Liquid as well a little bit later on in the day. That game should be should be a good one, that's for sure. For now, quick commercial break. When we return, more Halo 5 Guardians action. Right back.